Did you see this? There's a reason that Fox didn't even mention Trump's deranged, desperate speech this morning, a speech that trafficked in tinfoil hat conspiracy theories and utter nonsense. Because it was bad for business, and they know it. Trump's pathetic efforts to undermine our elections and your faith in our elections landed with a thud last night. There was nothing there. He lost 2020 fair and square, just like he won 2016 and 2024 fair and square. Every audit, every investigation, every raid, no one's been able to turn up any evidence of election fraud. And if there was foreign interference, it happened on his watch. What the speech did manage to do was convince his voters, Republican voters, to stay home in November. Why bother showing up for an election if it's just going to be rigged anyway? He knows Democrats are going to win big in midterms. He has no interest in helping Republicans win legitimately. If he did, he'd be out touting a bipartisan housing bill instead of holding it up and bearing it. He'd be pulling back tariffs and trying to end the war that he started. Instead, he's resorting to this lame and transparent manipulation that's only going to hurt Republicans. That's why Fox didn't even mention it this morning. This is, let's be clear, the pathetic, desperate attempt of a man so far out of his depths on how to fix the country, fix the economy, end a war. A man who is so deeply insecure and brittle. A man who is out of runway. And a man who knows, he's aware that the history books are going to write him correctly, which is why he's out slapping his name on shit while he can. What we watched last night was the last gasp of a wannabe strongman who is nevertheless achingly soft on the inside. It's no wonder that Fox did not want to call attention to this.
He took some big swings at China. He didn't completely walk the line of the promise from the White House to not relitigate 2020.
He came close to it. He didn't use some of the rhetoric he has used in the past, but he inferred that there was still something problematic about that election. We know there was not.
And the claim that there are non-citizens and dead people actively
voting,
rolls,
not substantiated.
Yeah, that is
not substantiated. But he said there are catastrophic vulnerabilities. And Tony, you have to ask yourself, what is that rhetoric about? Is that rhetoric about setting the stage for federal intervention in the midterms? I mean, we've had primary elections all this year. We're going to have more in August. Those primary elections have been conducted under this system that the president said is catastrophically vulnerable. Yet he and all Republicans and Democrats have accepted the elections, the results of those primaries, because they're being carried out according to state law and with resilient and checkable and auditable results.
The 2020 election was not rigged and no votes were changed. Look, I represented Joe Biden and the Democratic National Committee in beating Donald Trump and his allies 64 out of 65 cases. Everything about that election was litigated right after that election. And Donald Trump still didn't concede. In fact, not only didn't he concede, he instigated a violent insurrection in the nation's capital. He has been lying about that election ever since. He now forces his cabinet to humiliate themselves and lie about that election. Jay Clayton just humiliated himself by lying about that election. So he's going to keep doing that. But the question of 2026 is, what is he up to now? And he is wildly unpopular. Republicans have achieved nothing to run on. They have nothing to say to voters. So what Donald Trump is trying to do is to lay the groundwork to say that when they lose those elections were the product of fraud. And we need to be prepared for that. We need to expose it. By the way, if Donald Trump thinks he can nationalize the election, he needs to reach or federalize or take over the election. He needs to read the U.S. Constitution and listen to what the courts have been telling him. He doesn't have the power to do it.
Then, Mark, we actually have a voter question, Nancy from Charlottesville, who says, if Trump decides to send in officials to take control of the ballots in specific cities or states during the election, can the states or local authorities stop him?
Yes. So the Constitution gives the states the power to set the time, place, and manner of elections, subject only to congressional enactment. There has been no congressional enactment, obviously, giving the president that power. So he simply lacks the power or the authority to do many of the things that he claims or that his supporters claims he should do. the states and the localities can push back, and also private parties can push back. Look, my law firm and I, we are suing Donald Trump or states or involved in litigation against vote suppressors in 80 cases in 43 states. So there's already a lot of litigation, and there will be more. And people need to have confidence that they can vote, that their vote will count. But it doesn't mean that Donald Trump won't try to undermine that or sow doubt.
Who was in power in 2016?
Let me check.
I believe it was Democrats, right?
I don't know.
And who won the presidency? Donald Trump. Who was in power in 2020? Donald Trump and the Republicans. And the state of Georgia had a Republican governor, a Republican secretary of state, and Donald Trump lost that election. And then Democrats came back into power in 2024, and Donald Trump won the election. So the only election fraud, the only foreign interference that happened in an American presidential election apparently happened under the watch of Donald J. Trump in 2020, and not under the watch of Barack Obama, and not under the watch of Joe Biden. So is Mr. Trump saying the people that he hired that are closest to him botched the 2020 election? Maybe he is. And maybe we should question his, shall we say, qualifications for the people that are running the show, because apparently he doesn't think much of them. What an absolute lie.
What was the president asking you to do?
He was asking us to recalibrate or recalculate, I believe it was, somehow get a different answer. But I'm an engineer, and anyone that's good with numbers knows you can calculate on.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
What was the president asking you to do?
He was asking us to recalibrate or recalculate, I believe it was, somehow get a different answer. But I'm an engineer, and anyone that's good with numbers knows you can calculate all you want, but the numbers are the numbers.
So what are we going to do here, folks? I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
But the words used by the president and the president's chief of staff, give me a break, cooperate, compromise, were they asking you to join them in a conspiracy?
I guess maybe they were just trying to intimidate me and cajole me into something. It wasn't going to happen.
Tonight I heard a failed president desperately casting about for excuses to meddle in the upcoming election if he can, or to discredit the result when he loses decisively, as I expect he will. I heard a president who, as war spirals and as prices keep climbing for families across the country, is, as always, focused on his personal grievances, focused on his personal shame and humiliation, and above all, focused on his personal fear of the accountability that will come when we win this fall. But this is important, folks, and I want you to hear me out when I say this, because I also heard a president clearly signaling his intent to attack these elections and to undermine voting rights. And you know it's going to be right here in Georgia, the critical battleground state. Look, we have an opportunity this fall to deal a rebuke so decisive that no president will attempt abuses and corruption like this for centuries. That will be a great service to our republic. But he is signaling his plans to come right here to Georgia, attack the election and undermine voting rights. And I'm asking folks to take action right now. Grab your phone, grab your laptop, go to electjon.com, answer the president tonight overwhelmingly. Do this thing, chip in, join our team, help us get out the vote and protect voting rights.
Trump lost the 2020 election by 7 million votes, and he lost the electoral vote by 306 to 232.
But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over.
These numbers have been investigated by the Republican Congress and 60 court cases, all of which found that Man-Titties lost, and he lost big.
But I am not unpopular.
Everyone knew it, from Lindsey Graham.
Trump is a fucking idiot.
To Mitch McConnell.
It was a violent insurrection.
But then something happened.
It's the enemy from within.
It became apparent the Republican Party was broken, literally destroyed.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
You would say to the president,
I love you, sir.
And the spineless Republican monkeys realized that unless they embraced the malignant narcissistic sociopath, they'd either be unemployed or in some cases go to prison.
But your dishonor will remain.
So now Trump is telling the nation again that he won in 2020 and he wants to take control of future elections, specifically the upcoming midterms, and he'll say it's for election integrity, which is like saying that Laura Loomer promotes mental health.
People are actually going to do.
But the real insight into the GOP's cuckold nature was on display as Trump's nominees for the Director of National Intelligence and the Attorney General showed how fucking weak these little bitches be.
Who won the 2020 election?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
Dude, answer the fucking question.
You're here asking for the support of senators to lead America's intelligence community. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest, but you refuse to answer a simple matter of fact.
And of course, Todd Blanche, who has supported the pardons of J6 terrorists, as well as hiring the pardoned felonious child predators to work in the Justice Department. And all you need to know about Blanche is right here.
You were paid $10 million to represent the president. You hang a 30-foot banner of the president's menacing face over the entrance to the Department of Justice. You said that if you were terminated, you would say to the president, I love you, sir.
MAGA and Tiny Fingers are pushing this conspiracy inside their own party, saying Pence and the FBI Director Chris Wray, even Bill Barr were in on it.
Which was complete nonsense.
The sense you have that America holds certain ideals to be sacrosanct and our democratic system is an insurmountable bedrock of honor and decency needs only a history book to deflate and depress those feelings. Trump is going to employ ICE and the National Guard and send them to voting districts where Democrats are surging, arrest brown people as well as protesters, and then confiscate voting machines. And what MAGA really wants is a violent reaction to this blatant attack on our democracy. And of course, that reaction is predictable. In fact, if you love irony, it's the very reason the right loves a Second Amendment, so you can fight back against a tyrannical Trump-like figure. Ben Franklin said a republic is great if you can keep it. And with all the corruption and grift and murder of innocent Americans, it begs this question. Do we even deserve it anymore?
Goddamn right.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Dow is over 50,000.
Fuck off.
The guy that Trump hired to investigate elections just admitted on camera after his speech tonight that there's no evidence the 2020 election was unfair, and then he got rushed away from journalists by Trump's team. Just take a look.
Did you acknowledge that there were no votes changed in 2020?
All I can acknowledge is what the intelligence shows, right? I only know the intelligence community has zero evidence that someone has flipped, that a foreign power flipped a vote in 2020, 22, or 24.
And you have you're able to acknowledge.
We're now through all the documents.
You're able to acknowledge that Venezuela has not tampered with voting machines in the United States.
No, the intelligence is very clear. They did it on their own machines. Why is it important that they did it on their machines? Their machine protocols are the same as America. Why? Because for a long time they did exactly.
And so the 2020 election was in fact the results as the American public.
I'm still researching. So let me. This is the first one.
But there's no intelligence.
Not yet.
There is no intelligence that the election would have said that Donald Trump was
the president said that tonight. Thanks, John.
And when you look at that, they all rushed him away as soon as the truth slipped out. He admitted 3 things in that video: that no votes were changed in 2020, no machines have been tampered with, and they have no intelligence right now to suggest that the 2020 election was unfair. Hey MAGA, that's Donald Trump's own guy saying that. Now, he's probably going to get fired tomorrow for saying it, but nonetheless, John Solomon, this man right here, said it on camera.
White House is furious this morning. Trump's speech didn't land. Not only did his address to the nation flop, but the White House's own people show that there was no evidence of voter fraud in 2020. And the documents released by the White House show that Russia tried to spread claims against Joe Biden, not against Donald Trump. And so the White House's own people, like John Solomon, say no evidence of fraud in 2020, acknowledges that no votes were changed in 2020, 2022, or 2024. The White House's own documents show that foreign powers were trying to go after Biden, not Trump. And so what the White House did for the past 15 hours is attack journalists, attack media companies, and truly lash out at everyone on the internet because Trump's speech didn't land. And what we're seeing right now is a lame duck president, a White House comm staff that is doing everything it can to prop up his, in a lot of ways, delusions, and it's not working. Follow for more.
What's that? Fuck Trump. Yeah. Do you like Trump? Yeah. Why do you like Trump? He cares about America. How does he care about America? Take care of you. How does he take care of you? Well, What? You don't think my shirt is true?
No.
You don't. He's in the Epstein file 38,000. True.
No.
Well, you don't. He's in the Epstein files 38,000 times.
And who else is?
Yeah, take them all down. That's what I say.
Me too.
Yeah.
But dude, that's fucking retarded.
Why is it? Why is it retarded?
Were you a military man?
Yeah, I'm a Marine.
Me too, brother. Semper Fi.
No, you don't get a Semper Fi for me.
Really?
Not being a Trump supporter. You're a piece of shit.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, pussy. Look, he's got an eye sticker. Hey, you want? Hey, I got a binky for you, you crybaby bitch. I got a baby bottle for you, you crybaby bitch. Fuck you.
So the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has announced that the United States of America will focus their counter-terrorism measures on left-wing groups. I need everybody to take this seriously because they are slowly ramping up their efforts to eventually begin detaining the American people. Now, in Prairie Land, Texas, multiple activists were just previously sentenced to 30, 50, 70, and even 100 years in prison for a protest. For a protest. One guy was sentenced to 30 years for merely possessing pamphlets that had socialist propaganda on it. I also want everyone to understand that according to the FBI, for the past 8 decades, the #1 terror threat in America has been right-wing domestic terrorism. So not only is the real threat to America far-right domestic terrorism, there's also no known substantial left-wing group threat. The president signed an executive order to make Antifa a domestic terrorist organization, but Antifa is not an organization. Just being anti-fascist is common fucking sense. And the president shared on his Temu Twitter account just a few days ago a link saying or supporting the idea of using ICE to roll up democratic socialists. If anybody thinks that this is not going in the direction of concentration camps and rolling up citizens, you're really, really been duped. Because this is the authoritarian playbook. This has been repeated by authoritarian fascist regimes throughout history. They are using the immigrant community as a way to appeal to the inhumanity of those that will support what ICE is doing in this country, which is kidnapping and keeping people hostage and just robbing them of their basic human rights. And once they desensitize everybody to kidnapping people, holding them hostage, murdering them in the streets, then they'll turn that private military force that Trump has created against the American people. And he's going to amp up his efforts to do so as we move closer to the midterms because he is terrified of the midterms. This regime, this fascist regime, this authoritarian regime needs to maintain power through the midterm so they can complete their internal coup d'etat before the 2028 presidential election. With that being said, as they target left-wing groups, I'm out here at the Scarborough Detention Facility in Scarborough, Maine, about to join the local groups here because we're not going to be intimidated into quiet while you conduct these terrorist operations in our country, because this is actual terrorism. ICE is actual terrorism.
Well, 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 and welcome. I can't even keep it together to do this video for you. We've got to talk about what occurred last night, boo, with the orange turd. But first, I'm going to take you back to last year. Because this is a repeat of a playbook they've already sourced, dear. Do you remember when we wanted the files released in their entirety? Even the Red Hat crew out in the Twitter streets wanted to see the files too. And to appease his base, he threw some bioengineered red meat in their face. He called them to the White House, baby, those influencers. And Satan Cindy Lou Who, Pam Blondie Bondi was there with that binder, boo. You remember that? And those right-wing influencers was salivating at the mouth, baby. They thought they were going to blow the story wide open, thanks to Orange Daddy. They thought they were going to get to talk about files on display about a Democratic cabal in bed with Jeffrey. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? But then when they got the binders, it was clear they could see that all the information in there was already publicly released. And it didn't actually point the finger at anybody. Y'all remember that? That's what happened last night. That's exactly what happened last night. Only this time, instead of just throwing some bioengineered red meat at his base, he had to throw that shit in all of our face. That's what happened. I went through and perused the files he released. He stood up there and told you all this shit about China, 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 China. I guess they didn't actually read some of the files that they released, because there's intelligence briefs about how Russia absolutely was interfering in our election in 2020, spreading conspiracy theories about mail-in ballots and election fraud. This old coot just released the files that prove he's an old coot who believes bullshit and then repeats it. He just released files that prove he drank the Russian Kool-Aid, boo, and he's still drinking it today. That was just one of many things that they released that we already knew. And all that talk he had about China wasn't proof. The White House had to even admit that none of those documents prove any of that bullshit. China didn't steal information. They gathered data that was publicly available about voters in the United States. And in no way did that information lead them to doing anything in this nation when it had to do with our elections. At all. And just because a name is on a voter roll does not mean that person voted, honey. Now his base, they will be salivating and chomping on this bioengineered red meat for days. Don't waste your time, though. There's nothing there to prove anything except that the old coot is still pushing Russian propaganda on Americans, boo. Yeah, they just Satan Cindy Lou Hoo'd the entire United States with a little binder of bullshit we already knew. That doesn't prove any of his talking points whatsoever, boo. This goes to show you that they are in panic mode. That's what that was yesterday. In the middle of an unnecessary war, in the middle of Americans being gunned down in the fucking street by the Pedo Patrol, the Frozen Crew, he cut into broadcasting to spew bullshit on you. That is the Republican Party and the orange dude in full fucking panic mode, boo. That's what that was. And it backfired. It backfired. Because anybody and everybody who reads what was released and has any brain cells will see it was bioengineered red meat. Nothing happened to the 2020 election. As a matter of fact, to have all this intel about Russia and China too trying to meddle in our elections and them not actually getting away with meddling in our elections proves just how safe and secure our elections are. The fact that China tried their best but got nowhere, dear, absolutely proves our elections are secure. The fact that Russia threw millions and millions and millions of dollars into propaganda campaigns, even paid influencers here, even had fucking Donald Trump repeating their propaganda too, but still our election was fair, dear. And with every accusation being a confession today, we must acknowledge all the things he stood up there and accused China of, like collecting voter data roll data, is something that his administration regime is actively trying to do. Every accusation. It's a confession with this orange fool. Not to mention, if he knows that China's this boogie man, why has he been bending over backwards for China lately? The chips deal, all the other technology deals, all of his products made there. He's tried to impress China in so many ways. Everybody in his cabinet is invested in companies from China. If they're the boogeyman, baby, why, oh why is he so tight with China? Honey, he's always got nice things to say about President Xi, don't he? I thought President Xi was the boogeyman. Don't quite make sense, does it? Yeah. They just Satan Cindy Lou Hood and white binded all of you. Everybody. Well, you know. Not us, baby. Not my people who have good sense that are here today. I mean, honey. We don't eat bioengineered red meat. Do we? No, we don't eat none of that screwworm beef either. Anyway. And we don't have the Trump diarrhea syndrome over here. Anyway, yeah, bioengineered red meat. Now I'm gonna have my coffee, have a square or two, and I'm gonna dig up some more tea for all of you. They're in panic mode, and it makes me so fucking happy, boo. We just gotta keep on pace, on track, you know, and on task, and register people to vote, and get them to the fucking polls. That's all we gotta do. Because, it's over for the fucking Red Hat crew. It is over for the Republicans, boo. It's over. They have literally run out of bullshit. That's it.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh, yeah. Trucker John Livestream, come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream, it's gonna be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means. But if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Good morning. I almost finished my sandwich. Almost finished my... Almost. So close. So close. Look. This is all I got left. Hey, it's 11:30 a.m. Pacific Time Zone. We're currently sitting at a temperature of 93 degrees. It's a couple degrees warmer than it was yesterday when we started the show. But again, I walked to 7-Eleven during the intro and to go get a cup of coffee, and there weren't as many clouds out, so it felt so much hotter. I mean, it felt 20 degrees hotter outside. But it's kind of weird. There's still a little bit of stickiness in the air. You can kind of smell that rain kind of smell, even though yesterday I don't think we got more than a few sprinkles, and it's not raining. There's not really any clouds out now. But it still kind of has that stickiness, that kind of rain smell. But it was hot, very hot. So, anywho, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. For those of you that watched yesterday, you'll notice that the intro was a repeat. I decided just to do that. Otherwise, it would have been probably an hour late starting, and I didn't want to start late. So what I'll do, because I do have, I have all the clips together in my my iMovie editing bay. They're all in there. They're pretty much cut up. I still got to do a little more editing, and then download it into my phone, and then upload it into YouTube. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and post, after today's show, I'll post the intro that would have been for anyone that's interested, which would probably be about 12. Probably be about, I'm going to predict about 12 of you, if that, maybe not even that many. It might get 12 total views, and maybe only 8 of you that are in the chat now will go and watch it. But nevertheless, I will do it. A labor of love. It's a labor of love. But anyhow, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. I'm not able to scroll all the way to the top. I don't know who was here first. Maybe one of you guys could help me with that info. But I do see I'm coming in right where Justice A through Z, Love Saves Lives, posted extremely lame president, respect the ducks, please, with some laugh emojis. So that's where we're starting. Oh, 007 Kevin Trollslayer says Gunny. So that must have been at the point of the intro where Gunny was telling that dude to fuck off or whatever. I don't recommend people do that, by the way. Gunny is an ex-Marine. He feels apparently very confident in himself, that he could handle whatever situation might arise. But for the rest of us non-Marine folks, I'm not sure if I recommend going full bore like that, but it's fun to watch. We can live vicariously through his videos. William is here. Hey, William, good to see you. Creekside Grill, Texas is here. Don't believe I've ever seen Creekside Grill, Texas before. So thanks for being here. Alton Gillespie is here. Heard on Hal's the Pettysburg Address. Don't know what that's about. DPD is here. Hey, DPD, good to see you. Wes Webb is here. Thanks for coming on in. Wes Webb is here. Wes Webb is okay, but WW is a fucking asshole. Nola Carnes, Vasantha's here. Oh, so I'm just reading Josh C's. Josh C's is here. Good to see Josh C's. He says, Alton, I caught that too. Brilliant, whoever coined it. So I guess Trump's Thursday night speech, someone called it the Gettysburg Address. Yeah, that's pretty good. I've never seen such a poor loser such a poor winner in my life. Trump won. He's won 2 fucking presidential elections, and all he does is gripe and cry. Especially about the one that he lost. Hey, David Weiss, remember for 7 months? Yippee, David Weiss, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Dave says, what a long, strange road it's been. What a long, strange road it's been. Yes, sirree. Certainly has. But thank you so much for being a member. I appreciate you. We do have memberships, folks, starting for as low as I think probably a price of a Snickers bar every month. So we've got memberships. You can like, subscribe, share, hype. Hit that hype button if you see it. Like, subscribe, sharing. That's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And let's get those memberships up, or let's get our subscriptions up and memberships up. But we broke the 4,540 mark overnight. So we're at 4,540 subscribers on our way to 5,000, which is otherwise known as 5K Hennessy Day. 5K Hennessy Day. Let's get the 5K. I will crack open a bottle of Hennessy and we will celebrate as responsible adults. All right. Brooklyn SJ UK Trixie LaRue is here. Thanks for coming on in, Brooklyn. I do appreciate you. Let me tell you, Elf. So is Vasantha Elf? Because it looks like E1F to me. Oh, did we get another little truckiversary? West Webb member for 27 glorious months. Yippee, going out to West Webb. Thank you so much. At the driver level. Don't discount me. I love you more than these. Don't discount me. I love you more than these. Okay. Okay. Psycho. No. Thank you, West Webb. 27 months. Happy truckiversary. See what you guys are missing out on? If you're not a member, you can get praise. You get praise. Who doesn't like a little praise every now and then? Look, Dragon's Twin 1 is here doing some sort of song lyric. Not sure if I'm going to repeat it. Aaron West is here. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Aaron West, mod extraordinaire. Super mod, Aaron West is here. Brooklyn says, look, Dragon, I unblocked you. So now does that mean he can go back to his regular name? Or I don't know. What was the drama on that there? Troll Slayer says that Gunny clip cracked me up. Here that MAGA loving hick was the dumbass prick. He's here telling Gunny he's a card. Yeah, they love using the R word, don't they? Freedom, America. I'm gonna use the R word. I'm gonna use the N word too. Freedom. Yeah, motherfucker. Go ahead. Let's see how far that gets you. In certain places. MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State is here today. MJ says, "Do not fuck with me, the people." No, wait. Do not fuck with we, the people, and you need not fear we, the people. F-47. Alrighty then. Well, alrighty then. Sketchy roads. Sketchy roads. Oh, Mountain Mama. Sketchy Road says she's good. Oh, she's good. Talking about Christina Talks. I do have her on what would have been today's intro, and I will post it. I've got another one of her. Apparently, she's going to come out with a new podcast, which I call Livestream. Actually, no, it might not be a live stream. It might not. It's probably not. I don't know if it's live or not. But she said podcast and filming, so it's going to be on camera. To me, a podcast is on a little iPod thing. But anyhow, she's coming out with a new podcast apparently on Monday. And if you want to see the clip I have of her from today that she just put out this morning, it was a fresh one. When I grabbed it, it was only 48 minutes old. If you want to see that, see her latest, and she said that's the only one she's doing today because she had a bit of a sore throat. So if you want to see today's Christina Talks, then check out the intro that would have been shortly after the ending of this beautiful live stream that you are now watching. The Trucker John live stream. Oh, Trucker John live stream. Says so right there. Trucker John live stream. Justice AZ Love Saves Lives says I've had torture devices in my mouth for the past 12 months, but the orthodontist promised me to release me from the evil on Monday. That's right. Monday's the big day for Justice AZ, getting those braces off on Monday. I know, well, it's probably been a while now. How long ago was it? 10, 15 years ago, maybe? God, time flies so much, but so fast. But my daughter did they just do an Invisalign type of a deal? I think they had braces. Yeah, they had actual braces. I'm so stupid. I should know this shit. But then my ex, the baby mama, she also got braces at the same time. And they did that. Yeah, it was over. I think it was over a year. So yeah, it's a kind of a tough thing there. West Webb, what's one thing that the Jolly Ginger guy has lied about? I'm interested to know. You say he lies so much. Can you please tell me just one lie? Could you please post that in the chat? One lie that the Jolly Ginger guy has told. Because I would be interested in knowing. David Weiss says Tuesday monsoon rain start in Denver, Colorado. Cooler, less smoke. Yep, it's monsoon season. And I was watching, like yesterday, I said we got a few sprinkles. And I was looking at I have this radar weather thing app. And there was a big kind of storm cell just like 40 miles south of us. And it never made its way here. I think it just kept going straight across like into Arizona and shit. And we just missed it by that much on the app there. Nick Rich is here. Hey Nick, good to see you. Nick says hit the like. That's right, hit that like button. It's the one that looks like this. It looks just like that. Can't miss it. Or it might look more like this. I don't know. It's one of these. Hit the thing that looks like that. We got 43 watching, only 33 thumbs up, folks. You know what? We are acting like skeezy, a bit skeezy Republicans right now because we have a deficit. Let's get to being a little bit more like good Democrats and get to at least a balanced budget. Hit that thumbs up. No one wants to be accused of being a skeezy Republican, do you? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Justice AZ says then I will be able to speak freely at least as long as the First Amendment stands. Well, speaking of that, do I have where's my constitutional minute? What have I done with my Constitution? Huh. Is it over there? Usually I have my U.S. Constitution right here with all my stuff. I'm going to have to go look for it because I like to do a constitutional minute. How do things just disappear? That's what I want to know. West Webb says bullshit. Bullshit. All right, Mr. Bullshit. Then why don't you tell us what the bullshit is? You want to say bullshit, bullshit, bullshit? Well, what is the bullshit? Now, what we have here is a failure to communicate. He wants to say it's bullshit. So he's going to have to dig that hole. Perused. Thank you for just throwing a word out there. Old coot. This is all West Webb's postings. Just random non sequiturs. Kool-Aid. Proof. You are the king of the non sequiturs. Why don't you go on down to Ecuador? No, that didn't rhyme. You know, sometimes you gotta just workshop stuff, you know. Just as AZ says, the AI around Lego News has been rocking the free world. Rocking the free world. I don't play them anymore because they started doing copyright claims. That they didn't do that at first. Now I'm getting these copyright claims for their stupid songs. I'm calling them stupid because they dinged me. They dinged me a bit. I mean, it didn't really do anything. It just demonetizes. Here's West Webb with a $2.22 sticker. I'm not holding you down just because I have more. What? I'm not holding you down just because I have more. I don't even know what that means. But can you do this? Can you do this to your eyebrow, Wes? Dun 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 dun. Can you do that? I bet you can't do that, can you, Wes Webb? King of the non sequiturs, sequitur in Ecuador. No, I'm still workshopping that. I'm workshopping it. Wes Webb. So we are just supposed to believe this? I don't know. Apparently, you're referring to something in the intro, and I don't know where you're at in the intro. So. Wes Webb says, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, 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 boo. Just as AZ says, Wes Webb, thanks for boosting the algorithm with your comments. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true, Justice AZ. Love saves lives. Alvin Stube from Texas, somewhere in Texas. Is it Paradise? No, who's the Paradise person? Says Save Act makes it easier for our elections to be hacked. Hacked. There's a reason why the Republicans in Congress will not pass it. Don't want to pass it because it's a shit. They know it's going to even hurt their chances even more of getting reelected or getting elected. It's going to disenfranchise Republican voters too. Malio is here. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Malio. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. MJ Daniel says, how did the DJT administration in full power during the election allow Democrats to rig the election? Are they so incompetent? Be nice if somebody would ask them. Yeah, how about some good follow-up questions there, reporters? Do your job, reporters. Stop being little lick spittles. Can you be a double lick spittle? Could you be any more lick spittle, you reporters? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Let's see. I'm skipping down a little bit here. Nick Rich, invasive species for sure, Kevin. Kevin, what'd Kevin say? About it? Troll Slayer says, what, my opinion? The UFO is in the White House calling himself our president. Or the alien, I guess, the space alien. And maybe that's what the ballroom's going to be for, is park his spaceship. You know, you got to park your spaceship somewhere. You don't want it just laying around for everyone to see. You got to make a special place for it, I guess. I think Jolie is suspecting someone of not being who they think they are, or say they are. Jolie's here. Jolie. We got Jolie. Do we have Aaron here too? Is Aaron still here? Do we have both the super mods in the chat at the same time? Together? Are we here? Are we all together? Do we got both? We got both Jolie and Aaron here? You know what's about to happen, right? You do know what's about to happen. There's Aaron. I see Aaron. Says, I bought my bridal shoes today. Custom designed Converse. No heels for me. Very good. Nice, Aaron. There's Aaron West. Mod extraordinaire. We got Jolie. Is Jolie still here? By the way? Let's see. I'm waiting to see if Jolie's still here. Because if we got Jolie and we got Aaron, it's a special time. It's a special time in the chat when we get both Aaron and Jolie in here at the same time. I'm waiting. Waiting to see if Jolie will post anything. I'm waiting, man. Maybe Jolie's not here. Maybe Jolie dipped out for a bit. Maybe Jolie had to go out. You know? You never know. Nick Rich says the audio is okay. Okay. All right then. Missed it by that much. Susie Ann Jones, I'm feeling yucky, so I'm listening to John. Awesome intro and looking. Thank you, Susie Ann Jones. I hope you feel better. I'm sad to hear that you aren't feeling well, but maybe the dulcet tones of my voice will soothe you and make you feel better. I still don't know. I still don't know. Let's see. I'm waiting. I'm still kind of waiting here. You know, I can't do it until I get actual confirmation. Josh sees he's starting a new show called Crash Cab. But no more crashes for me. No more crashes for me, guys. I don't want no more crashes. No more crashes for me, Argentina. Oh no. I still didn't see. Maybe I skipped it. I still didn't see Wes Webb post anything about. Give me at least one lie that that Jolly has said. Aaron West, she's here. She's just giving me the silent treatment. Okay. All right. Aaron says she's here. I'm going to go with Aaron. I know she's busy on this one person here. So anyhow, we are operating right now, currently. This show, you guys, you know it. I know it. We all know it. You see it. I see it. We all see it. We know it. You got to know it. We are currently operating at, there you go, Wes, audio down. We are operating at full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. We're operating at full mod capacity, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! All right, we did. I got that out. I got that little bit out. It's one of my bits. These are the bits, folks. Hello, this thing on? This thing. These are the jokes. These are the bits. Nick Rich, I've crashed in a cab back seat. Do you mean crashed that you got in an automobile accident? Well, as a passenger, or do you mean you went back there and took a nap? Josh C says, I hope TJ understands. I'm giving you a British accent, Josh. And Josh probably talks like this, you know what I mean, in real life. But I'm giving Josh a British accent for some reason. I hope TJ understands, and this is British, by the way, in case you were wondering. I hope TJ understands that I'm just teasing him because I like him. Now, the real Josh is probably like, hey, I hope he understands. You know, I'm just busting his balls. You know, that's probably how Josh really sounds, but you just never know. See, I can give you guys, I can assign any voice to you that I want because, you know, I don't know what you guys really sound like. Luck Dragon 2112. Hello again, troll. Who's the troll? I like that John Fugelsang video this morning. Oh, good for you, Luck Dragon 2112. Good for you. Isn't that special? You like John Fugelsang video? Isn't that special? Aren't you special? Suzanne Jones says that she hopes it can do something on the 13th. Something about surgeries. I'm 64. If I live to 80, that's too much pain for too long. Well, I hope it gets worked out, Suzanne Jones. No one wants to live in pain for 16 years or whatever, more. So, yeah, I hope they can alleviate your pain for you. Come on, doctors. Damn it, doctors, do your jobs. Doctors. Let's see it. Well, anyhow, you know what I mean. Just now coming to the David Wise Truckiversary, I'm going to give you another yippee to David Wise. Member for 7 glorious months. It says, what a strange road it's been. There you go. Yeah. I appreciate you being a member. We have memberships, folks. really help support the channel with those memberships. And we got 50, 60 members or something like that. I'd like to have like 1 million. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't like that? Just as he trucks around, such a loser winner. Yeah, Trump. Talking about Trump, I hope. MJ Dan, I hope DJT had some cheese with all that wine. DPD says, TJ, because of your discussion about the Odyssey yesterday, we had to take our children and a couple of their friends to see the movie last night. Thank you. Did you like it? Wait, thank you, TJ. Or are you saying, like, because you're kind of laughing or whatever? Are you laughing, crying? What is that emoji? A laughing, crying emoji. How was the movie? I haven't seen it yet. They do have it on like regular theaters, but I want to see it in the 70 millimeter IMAX. And they only have one of those here in Las Vegas. It only has 61 seats, this theater. And every showing for the foreseeable future is sold out. They've got 8 a.m. showings, whatever you call it, viewings, whatever, and or blades. No. And even the 8 a.m.s are sold out. They got 8 a.m. and 11 and 1, 3 in the evening, 8. Every single one, and it's expensive. It's like $52 to see it in IMAX 70 millimeter. But I really want to see it in the IMAX 70 millimeter. So unless I drive to LA or something, which I don't see that happening, I'm probably gonna have to wait maybe a week or two until things kind of calm down. But I really want to see it in the 70 millimeter IMAX. What did you think? I think the biggest controversies I'm hearing about the movie is some of the casting choices. So without spoiling anything, what did you think of some of the casting choices? Because that seems to be the controversy. But then, and at least it was, but all of the people who have seen the movie, who've actually seen the movie, because a lot of people talk shit and haven't even seen the movie. They know, you can see clips and you know who's cast and who's playing certain parts. So then they get online and they bitch about it, and moan and whine about it. But then it seems like the people that I've seen that actually went and saw the movie, they don't even hardly mention anything about the casting because it apparently wasn't even an issue, But anyhow, without spoiling it, give me a little, a quick little, whether you liked it or not, stuff like that. Luck Dragon 2012 Trucker, I get to be here as myself today because Brooklyn finally unblocked me. Yay! And now I'm just not coming to the West Web Truckiversary. 27 months. Yippee to West Web. Don't discount me. I love you more than these. These what? These fleas? You love me more than these fleas? Thank you, West Web. 27 months. One of the OGs. West Web is right up there with Jolie and Aaron and a few others. OG. You're an OG, West Web. You're an OG. In case you don't know what that means, it means original gangsta. I think that's what it means. West Web, are you going dry until you hit the Hennessy? Well, I'm not. Well, not intentionally. I just haven't had the money. The only thing I really like to have around the house is some beer. I like to crack open a beer every now and then. And I haven't had a beer in I can't remember how long because I just haven't had the money to go buy a beer. I've just been kind of broke. But not really intentionally. But I'm not cracking open the Hennessy until we hit 5K. So West Web, you need to go and make like 560 puppet accounts and have them all subscribe to me. And then we'll hit 5K. Luck Dragon says, hopefully we get to 5K before It happens, but we have to drink Hennessy if Trump leaves office. I'm going to say how, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Well, if something happens, I should probably have a bottle of something, a different bottle of something, or even a beer. I'll crack open a can of Pepsi if that's all I got, that is about all I got on that glorious day. West Web Psycho, probably for even sticking with it. Yeah, well, that may be the case. I don't know. Anyhow, that was a good catch there, Jolie. I saw you. It was a good catch there. IB YouTubing is here. Hello, IB YouTubing. Good to see you. All thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate Guardian of Pedos. West Web. Nobody is really making all that much money. I don't know what that's in. I don't know what that's in reference to. I don't think, unless I skipped over it, I don't think you've shown me anything that Jolly has lied about. Aaron West, my trip to Las Vegas confirmed November 2nd through the 4th. All righty. Awesome. Maybe I'll give you a ride again. You guys know I gave Aaron a ride, totally random. It was a couple years ago when I was doing Uber. Just completely random. I picked up Aaron. Was it at the Flamingo? I think at the Flamingo. Maybe I shouldn't dox you. I don't know. Is that doxing? I don't know. But yeah, maybe you never know. Go stand in the taxi line. You might get me. Aaron, that's the free trip. Aaron got a free trip to Vegas. Nice. That's even better. Free is even better. When you're here, make sure you go to the Sphere. Go to the Sphere. If you haven't seen Wizard of Oz, go see Wizard of Oz. It was really awesome. My daughter took me there for Father's Day. And I loved it. I wasn't sure if I was going to love it or not. Because I've seen Wizard of Oz a million times. And I thought, well, how much more special could this be? But it was really special to see it, to see how it just opens up the whole world of Oz. It's just, I was just amazed. I was blown away by it. So if you have a chance, go to the Sphere. Go to the Sphere and see the Wizard of Oz. I don't know why I'm talking this way when I'm saying that, but just do it. Just do it anyhow. You just do it. Go see the Sphere. Go see Wizard of Oz. I don't know. Why am I doing this? Why? Why am I doing that with my mouth and everything? I don't know. I don't know why I do what I do. I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I just do the thing that I do. I don't know why I do what I do. I just do what I do. Coming at you from the Outer Rim, otherwise known as Boulder Highway. I don't think I said that earlier. Better late than never, right? Like Rich, I watched Hunter Biden's interview on NPR. Isn't that special? I'm going to say that to everyone who tells me about some other show they watched. Isn't that special? You watched Hunter Biden. Isn't that special? Love Dragon 2112 wanted me to sing. Those were Kenny Rogers lyrics. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to count 'em, know when to get up and walk away. Mad Mac would have loved that. I think Mad Mac would have loved that rendition. Where is Mad Mac? Oh, he's probably on his bike. I think he's doing a 200-mile motorcycle run today or something like that. Oh, I just forgot. When I was at 7-Eleven, I picked up a couple of these French vanilla creamers. They're in my pocket. Better take them out before I squish them. You don't want to squish them. Brooklyn, who's the Jolly Ginger guy? The Jolly Ginger guy is in the intros a lot. He has the big beard, kind of a red-gray beard. That guy, that's Jolly Ginger. Very popular. He's very popular. He goes to all these protests for ICE and all that kind of stuff. He's a veteran, so he does a lot of stuff for veterans. He's a really good guy, but for some reason, Wes Webb just does not like good people, apparently. He does not like good people who have a good message and who expose the truth. Apparently, Wes Webb is against all of that. Blood Dragon says, breaking news, 2 soldiers dead, 1 injured in Jordan. Uh-oh. Shock 2 more dead soldiers up to Trump's count. Justice AZ says, I wish I had done Invisalign. It was the same price because I got clear braces on top of teeth. Well, I think they actually got braces, now that I think about it. Or maybe my daughter got Invisalign and the ex got real braces. I don't know. I can't remember. You know, I can't remember everything. You guys expect me to remember everything? I can't remember everything. I be YouTubing. It looks like Fetterman has tanked for Trump. People, the good people of Pennsylvania, please primary this motherfucker. Please. For the love of all that's good, please primary that asshole. Wes Webb with a $2. Here's I'm just now getting to the $2.22 super chat. Yippee! I've already read it, but we'll read it again. You know, you paid $2.22. I guess I'll read it. It says, I'm not holding you down just because I have more. I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it means. Because you have more money? Or maybe generically speaking about holding people down, like other people down? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Thanks for the 222. Is that some sort of numerology? 222, that's the number of the Good Samaritan. Is that what that is? What's the number of the wealthy king? Send that number. I'm just kidding. Hey, Wes, how much are you going to sell that Mercury for? You should let me buy it. You should let me buy your Mercury. And then I could go back to Illinois and pick it up and then drive it from, because I want to do the Chicago on the Dan Ryan. No, I want to take the Route 66 trip from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. I want to do it this year, preferably maybe in the early fall, you know, get past some of the summer heat and before the winter comes in. Maybe I'm thinking maybe October. I think it might still be good weather, maybe September, October. I should save up some money. How much you sell that Mercury to me for? Or let me rent it. I don't know. And then I can do my trip. It's on my bucket list. This Route 66 thing is on my bucket list. So let's work a deal. Is it because I was thinking about hitting up some sometimes rental agencies. You know, they need to have cars transferred, like driven back from Chicago back to LA, but that's like a hit and miss thing. I don't know. But anyhow, let me know if you're interested in selling it. This might be the thing that you just needed to finally have you get out of that and get into that that Tesla. You still looking at Teslers? You still looking at Teslers? DPD coming in with some actual stuff here. DPD says still hasn't told me anything about the Odyssey. But yeah, DPD says Representative Catherine Clark, the second highest ranking Democrat in the House, has broken ties with Hakeem Jeffries and will support a Thomas Massie-led measure to end all military aid to Israel. Good for her. Good for her. It's stuff like that might start moving the needle. Where you start seeing more Democrats. It starts with one, and there's already a little group in there. I'm sure AOC and others that are aligned with this. But this might be the thing. It's gonna, it's a gradual thing. It takes time to get people to change their ways and to move over. This might even, before all is said and done, old Hakeem Jeffries might be in there with them at some point. West Webb, I can drink and smoke all I want. Screw you. Did anyone say that you couldn't? I don't know if that was directed at me or someone else. I didn't say you couldn't smoke or drink all you want. I did not say that. I did not say that, sir. Sir, I did not say that. I did not say it. IB YouTubing says most of the reporters in the Oval Office are right-wing media propagandists. Yeah, they've pretty much kicked out any of the decent ones, and they've really, like I say, just loaded it up with a bunch of Newsmax and OAN and shitheads like that. Luck Dragon Brooklyn, I just cracked open my first beer. I hope that doesn't disappoint you. It is Saturday. I've been thinking about doing a beer show. I might do a members only Monday, not this Monday, but maybe on some other Monday. A members only Monday, where I think I might try to find maybe a beer I've never drank before, and drink it on the members only Monday, and we'll have fun talking about me drinking beer. And if you want to drink a beer, you can drink a beer with me. So be on the lookout for that, members. Membership has its its advantages. We get to drink beer on members only Monday. I haven't done that yet, but although I have drank beer on the show before. A couple of years ago, I remember drinking some Heinekens or something. Something of this nature. Justice AZ says, my oldest son is active duty, but fortunately he's training at Walter Reed to be tending to wounded soldiers. Well, thank your son for his service. I hope he stays out of harm's way there, and is doing a great thing tending to soldiers. It's a great thing. I'm just now getting to the point in the chat where I did the full mod capacity bit. Oh, my goodness gracious! That sneeze just snuck up on me. I didn't have time to grab a tissue. A tissue. Let's see. DPD says John Lurch Fetterman has already said if the Democrats Party turns its back on Israel, he will leave the party. I have 2 words for him. Bye, bitch. Yeah, don't let that screen door hit your ass on the way out, bitch. Or however that saying goes. Oh, Erin says she's not in here right now. I read that. I thought she said she is in. Well, are we not at full capacity? Oh my gosh, did I do a full mod capacity? I thought she was here because I've seen her doing stuff. Oh, there she is there. So I think I'm pretty sure we were at full mod capacity when I said we were at full mod capacity. Oh, she's here. Then it says she's here. Okay. Hey, there's Trucker John 89. I'm Trucker John. I think I'm Trucker John 66. But only because 66 is my favorite 2-digit number. Anyhow, Trucker John says, Trucker John, true story. When I created my channel, I found that you were the OG trucker, laughing out loud. I had to add the 89, laughing out loud. I've never caught you live before. Keep trucking, brother. Well, hey, thanks for coming in, Trucker John 89. Just full disclosure, I don't drive anymore. I stopped in January of 2023, I believe. So it's been about over 3 years now already. And now I've been doing a couple of years of ride share, and now a year and a half of driving a cab. So I'm still a driver, just not driving the big rigs anymore. Although I did have an offer from DKD or DKJ, I forget, trucking company who I've never really heard of before. They did send me out a voicemail asking me to check them out. But I didn't do it because I like my setup I have now. Audio back. Nick Rich, I don't have thin skin, Wes. Josh sees, holy shit, it's another TJ, mind blown. Yeah. Well, I know that there was another Trucker John when I was, when I changed the name. I've had this channel, I think, since 2008, but it used to just be, I think, John Fowler or something. It's just my, and then a few years ago when I decided to do live streams, then I changed it. I think I was able to change it, right? You're able to change it. Or at least then you could. And I changed it to the Trucker John channel, or Trucker John. And at that time there was another Trucker John, and he does a lot of trucking videos and stuff. That's why I think I had either on Trucker John 3 or Trucker John 66. I don't know, because on different platforms I'm either Trucker John 3 or Trucker John 66 is usually what I do. And I didn't have to do the 66 because there were 65 Trucker Johns ahead of me. I just did it because I like that number. I think there was only one or two, or maybe just one ahead of me at that time. Anywho, Mr. Spock is here. Hey, Mr. Spock, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in, Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper. Mr. Spock, live long and prosper. Aaron West says, you know what? Some of us sound like because of Liberal Dan After Dark. That's true. I only went in on the very first one that he did a couple weeks ago. So I know what Big Hook sounds like. There was the guy from Australia. I forget his name. Who else was in there? Couple people. Couple people. Yeah. Nick Rich, I use profanity a lot in my daily conversations. The fuck you say? The fuck you say? Dave Weiss from Denver says, I wore unusual braces as a kid. My teeth were straight but had an overbite. Wore a Bimla for 2 years. Tugged the lower jaw hinge pin forward. Made my jaw sore. Messed with my clarinet playing. I imagine it would. Yeah. It probably set you back in your clarinet playing. Josh C says, yesterday my wife overheard TJ talking about my theater gigs and was cracking up. Oh yes, the theater, the life in the theater by Josh C's. Very demanding life, but very rewarding, I suppose. Yes, to be or not to be, that is the question. Dear Horatio. Was Horatio even in Hamlet? I might be mixing up plays there. Oh, yeah, Doug Dragon. Yeah, Trucker John handles Trucker John 3. So it is Trucker John 3. And the reason I did 3 is because I am the third. Not because I was the third Trucker John. I think I might have been the second Trucker John. So I could have been Trucker John 2. But I put 3 because 3 is my favorite single-digit number. And also, I am the third in my family name. Serena Monkey. Serena Monkey. Now, Serena Monkey is from across the pond. Serena Monkey says, only you sound like that, Trucker John, not even the Welsh. Yeah, you must be kidding me. Serena Monkey. I've worked with linguists and with acting coaches, the best the world has seen, to work on this accent. And I've been told it's very accurate. Very, very accurate. It's the upper Liverpool. I don't even know. Is Liverpool a real place? It's very accurate. I've been told. It's uncanny, they say. It's uncanny, the detail. The precise details of the accent. And so I don't know what you're talking about. Spinning Monkey, I have no idea what you're talking about. Trucker John 89 says, I created a channel back in 2021. I was given the nickname Trucker John from my local radio station here in Baltimore. Found this Trucker John channel, but never caught him live. Well, there you are. I'm glad you're here. I think all the Trucker Johns should come on in and say hi from time to time. From time to time, I think all the Trucker Johns are welcome here. We could have a... Oh, he says, criminy. Oh, this lid. I closed the lid on my coffee, and it splattered me. It just splattered me. Why is everything missing? Where's all my stuff? I usually have this. I'll have to use one of these things. I usually have these little thing that's made for to clean glasses with. These are 2, but I splattered myself. Have you guys ever done that? Have you splattered on yourself? Raise of hands. Who hasn't splattered on themselves from time to time? It happens. I'll put on some other glass. I just splattered on myself. Alrighty then. Let's see here. Everyone's talking about Trucker John 89. 89? 89? Petrozzi, I'm going to see Odyssey tomorrow. Yeah, West Webb booked for a year. Yeah, that's what I found out when I was looking for tickets for the 70mm IMAX for the Odyssey. that they apparently started doing like pre-sales like a year ago. That's crazy, isn't it? So anyhow, hopefully these are nice and clean. Now, I like these glasses better for this close-up work here. Yeah, booked for a year for the Odyssey. Trucker John 89, you gonna go see the Odyssey? Now you can see it in regular theaters, like probably a lot easier, but I've heard the way to go is to see it in the 70mm IMAX. And so I gotta do it. That's what I gotta do it. I'm gonna save up my money. And I'm gonna go see it in 70mm IMAX. I might have to wait a couple weeks. Or something. West Webb, not all it's cracked up to be. Have you seen it? Did you see it, West Webb? Did you see it? Mr. Spock, the Odyssey is a Greek play. Yes. Homer Simpson wrote it. I heard it was Homer Simpson that actually wrote it. Isn't that amazing? Who knew that Homer Simpson could write something so prolific? He also wrote the Iliad. The Odyssey is just like a sequel to the Iliad, I think. West Webb waited a year to be disappointed. West Webb, you are so grumpy. I'm going to try not to splatter on myself now with my coffee. It's just, there's something wrong with I've loved this. You guys know I use this cup every day. I love this cup because it keeps the coffee really hot for a long time. But there's something going on now with this lid where it just seems like it's harder to suck the coffee out. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me, honey. It's not you. It's me. Christina Wiles here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for popping on. Always popping on in. Christina Wiles says, I'm poor, but I've had real love in my life without money. And Jenny, I do know what love is. Yeah. Okay, so here's DPD talking about the Odyssey. Says the movie was pretty good. Not as good as the book. Well, most movies aren't as good as the book, but I got to say, I read the Odyssey, of course, like we all did, right, in high school. I have a hard time with that old English shit. I have a hard time with Shakespeare, any of that, Beowulf, you name it. I have a hard time with that. The fucking King James Bible, I have a hard time. The fucking U.S. Constitution, I have a hard time with sometimes with their silly fucking English. So that's just me. That's just a brain deficiency on my part. DPD says the movie was pretty good, not as good as the book. Let my husband tell it. He's a bit of a nerd in that sense. Well, is he on here? No to Matt Damon as Odyssey. Other than that, I would rate it an 8. Okay, that's pretty good. What's I've heard other people say that they don't, that they wish. Here's because I've been last night. All of a sudden, remember the movie Troy? It came out in 2004, and it starred Brad Pitt as Arch, as Broken Arch. No, Achilles, as Achilles, or Hammer Toe, whatever his name was, and Odysseus was played by Sean Bean in the 2000 version of Troy, and he did very good. He was very, very good. Sean Bean, excellent, right? We've all seen him in, was he in Lord of the Rings or whatever? I don't know, or all kinds of shit. No, he was in Dragonflies for you. What was the thing about the dragons? Game of Dragons, game of flying dragons, thrones. or whatever. So we all love Sean Bean. He's an excellent, great actor. Of course, now he's probably too old. That's hard to believe. Troy came out 22, was it 22 years ago, I guess? If I'm doing my math right. 20, or yeah, something like that. So Sean Bean, I guess, would be too old to play Odysseus now, maybe. But then, you know, people are saying, I wish they would have made a sequel then and cast Sean Bean in a full, you know, like the Odyssey movie or something then. But okay, so they didn't. To tell the truth, I didn't even know Matt Damon was in this movie until like a week ago. I kept seeing little, I think it was just still shots. I don't even think it was video clips of this person who was apparently playing Odysseus, and I didn't even know that was Matt Damon. I actually thought it was the guy who played Thor. It looked like him more in the stills that I shot. Just kind of older and with an old gray beard, or gray in the beard, beard in the gray beard. I thought, that Thor guy's playing Odysseus. That's what I thought at first. But I like Matt Damon. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know about his performance. I'm trying to think of the clips I've seen. I really haven't seen even the clips they play are just so quick, like little quick things. I don't even know if I've seen any like acting of Matt Damon. I think I've seen some action stuff, some swordmanship stuff, but I don't think I've even seen the actual performance. So I don't know. You didn't like Matt. I like Matt Damon. Maybe the Thor guy would have been better though, huh? Why didn't they cast him? But anyhow, I don't want to bag on Matt Damon. I like Matt Damon. I think he's good, but I don't know if he was good in this movie because I haven't seen it. And I really haven't seen any clips of him acting. I think I've just seen clips where they just show his face, or they show him, I don't know, twirling a sword around or something. Or on a ship going, you know, on a ship. So I guess I'll reserve judgment on Matt Damon, but maybe a good choice would have been the Thor guy. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Thor would have been better than Matt Damon? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Wes Webb, you don't even remember when I invited Facebook. Did you invited Facebook? Okay. I've been YouTubing. Trump will not leave. Remember that the presidency protects him. He'll leave. He will leave. Probably in a pine box. To quote one of our other podcasters, live streamers, that comes on at nights with the crazy hairdo. Name's Tommy. Pine box. I'm not worried about him not leaving. But, you know, maybe I'm naive. Sunny Monkey says, maybe you are okay with not drinking. Leave it to the rest of us. You are giving a lift home. Okay? Sunny Monkey's probably going, my goodness, does that man live right down the street from me? It sounds exactly like he lives right here in my hometown. Yes, sir. West Webb, I already told you about the redhead's lies. You just don't read. I don't even know who the redhead is. Who's the redhead, Wes? I like redheads. I've always had a little soft spot for redheads. For some odd reason. One time I took notice. Even my dad noticed. He goes, Another redhead, huh, John? I was like, oh yeah. This is way back in the day when I was way younger. He's like, oh, another redhead. And he looked at my mom. He goes, he must have a thing for redheads. And I was like, I guess I do. Because I think the last 3 girlfriends in a row were all redheads during this conversation back in the mid 80s. Back when, do I have my car? Back when I had this car. Actually, this is from 1978. Close enough. Westwood Wizard of Oz, very special. It's a great movie, and if you're in Vegas and it's expensive, but when you come to Vegas, you're going to spend money. Everything costs money. Go to the Sphere and see the Wizard of Oz. It's really really great. It's a whole new. Even if you haven't, I haven't watched the Wizard of Oz. I used to watch the Wizard of Oz every year. You know how every year they would show it on TV. This is before Blockbuster Video. This is before streaming. So you had to wait for it to come on TV. Every year they would do this big special presentation, right, of the Wizard of Oz, and they would build it up and build it up. And so then it's like, hey, tonight's the night, Wizard of Oz, let's go. You pop the popcorn, everyone would sit down, we'd watch the Wizard of Oz together as a family every year for like 20 years, man. And then didn't really watch it for a while. Then when my kids were around, then we bought, I think, a VHS copy. And then eventually I think we switched that out for a DVD copy. And we watched it a few times with them, but it's different because it's like you just watch it at your leisure. It's not like this big special presentation, So anyhow, watched it a few times in, and I don't think I've watched The Wizard of Oz in probably 20 years or more. Probably like 20 years. 15, I don't know, 15, 20 years since I watched The Wizard of Oz. Because the kids got to a certain age where we didn't really watch those kind of movies anymore. And then, so when I went to the Sphere on Father's Day and watched it, that's the first time I've seen The Wizard of Oz, like I say, in 15, 20 years. But it was so cool. It was just such it was almost like watching it for the first time. And like I say, just the way it just opened up the land of Oz and this universe of this movie. It's like, instead of just being on this flat screen or flat thing, it's like you can see the depth of it and you can see it just go out. I don't know. That was what was amazing to me. But so anyhow, if you're in Vegas, I highly recommend Wizard of Oz. Now that they've announced that, I don't know when they're ending the Wizard of Oz, but they've announced that sometime next year, 2027, they're going to bring Rocky Horror Picture Show, which at first I was a little down on it. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work, but it probably will work because it's a really cool place, and they'll probably make it work. And I know there's lots of Rocky Horror Picture fans that are going to flock to go see it. But, so anyhow, the Wizard of Oz is not going to be there forever. It's going to play out, I think, for the rest of this year, and then it might go into 2027, but at some point they're going to switch over to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Here we have Robin Rivers, Vegas 101. Hey, Robin Rivers. Hello, I don't think I've ever seen you in here before. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on in. West Webb Wizard of Oz kid. Well, there you go. Me too. I guess I was a Wizard of Oz kid. DPD, I like Hunter Biden. We need more politicians like him. But the thing is he's not even a politician. Sweetie Monkey says, hi, DPD. Thought I'd pop in. Have a watch. I'm putting off using my new PS5 controller, to be honest, because I'm very drunk and haven't set it up yet. And oh, by the way, Sugar John is spot on with his English accent. He said it. Okay, I added that last part. I added the last part. Robin Rivers Vegas is saying hi to Josh. Man of the theater, Josh. West Webb, if I only had a brain. They do sing that song in there. I do have the video of that if you guys want to check it out. My Father's Day video. And a big part of that is Wizard of Oz from the Sphere. You can just check through my little old videos there. It's in there somewhere. Robin Rivers Vegas, I can't stand Trump. Well, welcome to the club, Robin Rivers Vegas. You are in the right place. Because I think 99% of us in this chat cannot stand him, with the exception of probably West Webb. I don't know. West Webb, please. Illinois primaries are over. Is John Fetterman in Illinois? I don't even know when Pennsylvania primaries are, or if they already had them. I don't even know if he's up again. Whenever he's up, just get rid of Fetterman, is my point. Aaron West, member for 27 months. Happy truck anniversary. Yippee. To Aaron West, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and share is Aaron's message. Absolutely. Like, subscribe, share the show, hype the show, get us to 5,000 subscribers to get us to 5K. Hennessy Day. And I will crack open that bottle of Hennessy, and we will have us a good old celebration. Thank you, Aaron West. Not only a member, but a moderator. Big help to the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. West Webb, my Mercury is worth much more than money can buy. All right. West Webb runs on air. So it's free to run it? Or are you going to give it to me for free? Just let me borrow it. Just let me borrow it, and I'll bring it back. Let me just borrow it for my Chicago to LA Route 66 run. Serena Monkey says Trump's death count is well over 1 million as it stands. Oh, wait. Serena Monkey from across the pond, in this very accurate British accent, says Trump's death count is well over 1 million as it stands. I was confused why he would do what he did until I realized his misinformation about COVID took care of lots of people he didn't want to pay back. Here, here, here. I don't know. I think he killed off a lot of his own followers. West Webb, 50K for your Mercury? Nick Rich, I'm going to buy me a Mercury and drive it up and down the road. Yeah. Brooklyn says that Mercury doesn't exist. Josh C says if it's in the first half of August, I'll hang out with TJ and Wes. Man of the Theater. Mr. Sparks says years ago they had a show called Reach for the Top. Four girls, high school per school would compete. The host name was Less is More. My brother and sister were on the same team. They were smart. Okay. Is this some sort of trivia game or something? Look, Nick Rich, look for a 58 El Camino. Well, for one thing, it's a 59. It's not a 58. Not even sure if they made 58s. 59 might have been the first year. The 59. To buy one now would probably be way out of my price range. My dad bought that for me. Like I said yesterday, he bought that for me. I think I was a junior in high school. So around 1977? Bought that for $1,500, and it was fucking nice. Great running car. You know, $1,500. I don't know what if I got one like in that condition that you see there now. That probably would be 50 grand. I don't know. Luck Dragon 2020 sales, or you can come to the Bay Area and buy my Grand Marquis 98. Less than 87,000 miles. I'll sell it to you for $1,500. Luck Dragon. I might take you up on that. Send me to my Gmail account your contact information. Maybe send me some photos. Send me your phone number and we'll talk. My Gmail is on, it's in the chat. It's in the description somewhere of the channel. I think it's, what is it, truckerjohn@gmail.com? West Webb, buy me an S-Plaid and I will give you Captain Zippy. Buck Dragon, that's the deal I would give Trucker John. Okay. Hey, man, send me your info. Send me contact information, all that stuff. Let's talk. Luck Dragon. Do you think it's roadworthy? Do you think I could drive it? Because then I would have to drive it all the way back to Chicago and then drive it all the way back from Chicago back to L.A. And then from L.A. back to Vegas. So if you think it's roadworthy to do that, let me know. I've got $450 in the car fund, I think, or $350 or $450. So we're getting there. We're getting there on the car fund. West Webb, I'm drinking the cheapest vodka I can find. Cheap vodka, with vodka, you really need to, I think, get the better stuff. I've had cheap vodka and it's disgusting. And then I've had really good vodka that was really good. So there is a difference in what you get. So Serena Monkey says if she's smoking what Steve Miller does, Trump's cock, and drinking what Stephen Bannon does, Trump's ass, he needs to stop. WW, I still have him blocked. Oh, we're talking about WW. WW. WWW. WWW. There's all the blessings. So I'm now at the chat where I sneezed because everyone was blessing me. Thank you for the blessings. I will take blessings whenever I can get them. Sometimes I sneeze on purpose just so I can get a blessing. Just kidding. I don't sneeze on. I'm not able to sneeze on demand. Luck Dragon says Brooklyn, it needs to be registered and it needs to be insured. But John could give me $1,500 and I'll give him the title for less than $300. I wish I could. That would be a fun trip. Oh, to drive it down? Because I did skip. I skipped something. Why don't you drive it to TJ? Anyhow, Luck Dragon, email me on my Gmail account. It's listed in the description of the channel. And we can talk further about it if you want. West Webb, I can sell my Mariner in Anchorage for more than it's worth in Illinois. Aaron West, Steve is from Scotland, not Australia. Who said anything about Steve? Who's this Steve we're talking about? Who is Steve from Australia? Steve from Australia, are you on the air? Are you on the line? Aaron West, I want $5,000 for what? You got a car for sale too? Aaron, did I skip Aaron? Does Aaron have a car? Is everyone selling me their cars now? Or you just want 5,000? I want 5,000 too. Big Hook, the Big Canucks here. Hey, Big Hook, good to see you. It says DB from Australia and Highlander, Steve from Scotland. I still don't know who Steve is. That was my Scottish accent. The third. Yeah, I'm the third. I am the third. I am the third. David Weiss from Denver. I just checked to see what condition my condition was in. First edition hit Kenny Rogers, lead singer and bass. See Big Lebowski, Dream Scene. Oh, I remember that song when it was on the radio. Yeah, Kenny Rogers on the first edition. They had a lot of big hits before he went solo. And then he went all country. Swindy Monkey says, Hamlet is about a Danish royal family and Horatio is a naval god from not Denmark. Dun 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 dun. Thank you for that, Swindy Monkey. Thank you so much. Big, I try to leave TJ some good info in the lounge. Did you post something recently, Big Hook? I need to check that more often. Aaron, that's TMI splattering on you. Well, you all saw it, didn't you? Did you not see it? I'm skipping down because as Nick Rich notes, I am a half hour behind. So I am kind of skipping down a little bit. DVD, it's time for a new one. Do you think? It's still in good shape. I don't know. I gotta. If you don't want to get splattered, you need to kind of, hold your head back, point the end away from you, and then when you kind of flick the end, make sure it's pointed away from you, and then take a look. Take a look-see. It has something to do. Can you see the top? It has something to do with this. It pops off. I've been popping it off, making sure it's all nice and clean in there. It's kind of like there's a hole. It's supposed to line up with the hole. And I think since the hole may be clogged, I don't know. Maybe there's a cloggage in the hole. I may need to get a toothpick or something. I don't know. Don't try this at home. Be very careful. If you're going to try to unclog the hole with a toothpick, I'm not offering that as advice, but that could be the issue. The hole may be clogged up. And you know, when the hole gets clogged up, you can get splatter. It just happens. You know? It's just the way things happen. Serena Monkey says, I've only seen one IMAX film. It wasn't a film, it was a documentary about Apollo 11. It was over 36 years ago. The IMAX projectors are insane engineering. Thank you very much. I think I probably do a spot-on Surrender Monkey. I got to say, if I do say so myself, spot-on Surrender Monkey. Nick Rich got to take a call. Very important man, very important phone call. Clips, trailers. Well, there's clips. I know the difference between I know what a trailer is, West Webb, but there are clips on YouTube. They're called YouTube clips. Or, you know, they play little clips here and there. Those aren't actually trailers. Do I have to explain everything to you, Mr. Webb, former teacher? DPD says Troy was magnificent and Sean Bean was in Game of the Flying Lizard Dragon Thrones. Yeah, that's what I said. West Webb, he's handsome and he is good. Wears his feelings on his sleeve, on his sleever. Are you talking, who you talking about? You talking about me again? I don't know. Josh sees, if we're talking about actors, I found out that Richard Kind could play Todd Blanche in the Downfall 2.0 movie. Who's Richard Kind? For one thing, who's Richard Kind? Brooklyn says, Brooklyn CU, aka Trixie LaRue, says Netflix paid $587 million to Ben Affleck for his AI startup Interpositive. Google News. That's from Google News. Well, it must be nice to have that kind of money to throw around. Don O'Leary, political punk. Yeah, that's who I was talking about, Don. Don was on to me. Let's see. Have you guys heard about this person that's running? I didn't even know he was running. But he sounds like a good candidate. Look at there. He's never going to give you up. Never going to make you cry. Oh, whoa, whoa. Rick Astley. Running for something. Anything. Hell, I would vote for Rick Astley over Donald Trump for president. Serena Monkey, I love that you sound like Sir Digby Chicken Caesar. Google it. It's funny. It's V funny. It's not just funny. It's V. Oh, very. Oh, V for very. Okay. Brooklyn says Wizard of Oz scared me. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember because I'm sure I started watching that movie when I was probably like 3 or 4 or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember ever being scared. You know, I don't remember, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't. But I just remember being really kind of enthralled, like really fascinated about the wizard, and they finally saw the wizard. Spoiler alert! Here's some spoilers if you haven't seen Wizard of Oz. And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I kind of I wasn't like afraid of the Wicked Witch. I was mad at her. I didn't like her. She was mean. Uh, but yeah, I could see how that could be kind of scary though. Some of the stuff, sending her flying monkeys out, and all that kind of stuff. Those trees, those scary trees. DPD, I guess talking about Trump, DPD says no, he won't leave TJ. 2021 was just the beginning since the orange pedophile. Wait, what happened? Oh, orange pedophile has his minions, the Nazi Gestapo, the military to do his bidding, causing more death and destruction. I'm not gonna take this fear mongering from Trump, and he wants us to be afraid. He's weak. He's not as strong as you think he is. He's weak. He's losing support. His popularity is down to barely 30%. Other Republicans in the party are starting to bail out on him. Networks that usually bend the knee to him wouldn't even show his speech on Thursday night. He's getting weaker and weaker, not just physically weaker, but he's getting weaker in his support. More and more people are falling away. A lot of people are against this war. A lot of his own MAGA followers are against the Iranian war. And here he is, ramping that up. He's losing support. I don't think we have to worry about him not leaving. Or if he doesn't, he's what's he going to do? Okay, you just lock him in there then and let him starve to death. I don't give a fuck. You take away everything. Now, here's another meme that I found. I thought was kind of funny. Ha ha, funny. Missing in action. I don't know what we need POL means, but what does POL mean? We need POL for rigor tortoise. I have no idea what POL means, but I thought it was a funny picture. Mitch McConnell, because he looks like a turtle and he's in a turtle shell and he's missing in action. So there's that funny little meme. But I believe he's dead. Governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, said that he got 2 phone calls from non-agencies, non-state agencies. So it wasn't from the state. So I don't know really what that means, where these phone calls came from. But he says that he was told that Mitch McConnell has passed away. And this is a while ago, that he said this, I think, or that he got those calls. So there's that. And that is that in the intro that would have been posted today. Some of that is covered also. And a lot of that is what Christina talks about how Trump appointed, talking about Lindsey Graham appointed his sister, and now with Mitch McConnell, they don't want Beshear's being able to appoint someone. They want to appoint who they want, but the laws are different in Kentucky than they are in South Carolina. So it seems to me that Andy Beshear's should go ahead and really get. I don't see why it's so hard to get confirmation as to whether or not someone is dead, especially a U.S. senator. He needs to find out immediately and then appoint a Democrat in his seat. That's what he should do. But I think the only reason he's hesitated is because he's not sure if he's going to be able to do that, because that might be contested, and so he's probably going to, before he goes through with that, he probably wants to make sure that he can appoint someone. That's probably the only hang up from Bashir's. Big Hook. Wizard of Oz was the first colorized movie, as memory serves. It was a big deal. It might have been that or Gone with the Wind. To be filmed in color, not colorized. Colorized is something different. That's when you take black and white movies that were made in black and white, and then they have a colorization process where they, like with the classic movie channel or whatever, they do that kind of shit. But the actual movie to be filmed in color, it might have been either Gone with the Wind or it was Wizard of Oz. I'm not sure which. It was one of those two movies, I believe. DBD says Hunter Biden should be a politician. I don't know. Why? Don't we have enough politicians? Big Hook. How far behind is he today? 12:46. So I'm about, 14, 24, 27 minutes behind, Big Hook. 27 minutes. Can you... God, the nerve, huh? I got the nerve of this guy. This guy here. The nerve to be 27 minutes behind. The nerve, I tell you. Wes Webb says John would never have made it in drama film at Illinois Wesleyan. They would have seen Feet on the Dashboard and flunked him. Thank you for bringing up Feet on the Dashboard. If you guys want to check out my movie that I made in 2012, it's only 8.5 minutes long. It's called Feet on the Dashboard. It's a little quirky little indie short film that won, or that didn't win, but it was selected at the Polygrind Film Festival. So there. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Wes Webb. How many films have you had that got accepted to a film festival? Huh? How many films have you posted on a social media platform that got, I don't know, almost 100,000 views? How many, Mr. Webb? Wes Webb Fetterman is my hero. Why am I not surprised? I'm not surprised, but I am a bit disappointed. Serena Monkey says, you can add all you like because you earned it with a perfect English accent, TJ. Thank you very much. I've been told it's perfect. I've been told that if you go to England, you'll just fit right in. Everyone will think you're just one of their neighbors. They're like, oh yes, he's English. Let him pass. Let him through the gate. He is one of us. He's a fowler, for crying out loud. He's the keeper of the fowl for the king. Let the fowler in. Let that man in. He's the keeper of the fowl. Dost thou knoweth he is the keeper of the fowl? Man, I say let him in, or off with your head. And scene. Thank you. Thank you very much. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Wes Webb. Wesleyan. Skipping down and needle dropping, as they say. Look, Dragon says, Joss sees the other really good thing about my car was my father was the original owner. He takes really good care of his vehicles, and it kind of pisses me off. It's just sitting around. And it sure would look good cruising down Route 66, wouldn't it? Cruising down Route 66. Yeah, buddy. I can plan out the trip now. Me and Luck Dragon, we're going to hammer out a deal. I'm going to go up to Hayward or wherever. You know, pick up the car. I'm going to head out on I-80. I'm going to sit I-80 all the way to freaking, I guess, Illinois. And then probably go up I-35 or maybe cut across somewhere. Get up in there to Chicago. Probably hit the Dan Ryan at some point. The Dan Ryan in Chicago. Make my way over to the pier, because they have a pier also. So it's peer-to-peer now. The Route 66 route is peer-to-peer. There's a pier at Chicago, Lake Erie, or whatever the fucking lake it is. Lake Chicago. It's probably called Lake Chicago, or some silliness that Chicagoans do. And we're going to take it peer-to-peer all the way to Santa Monica Pier, dude. Yeah, we're gonna go to Venice, dude. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna go to Santa Monica. Gorka. I don't know who's saying Gorka. Gorka. All right, I am skipping on down in the chat. Skipping on down in the chat. I'm skipping on down in the chat room. Dibbity, what was the year of the car again? I don't know. I don't know. Talking about Luck Dragon's, was it Crown Vic? Something like that. Serena Monkey says Gorka is Hungarian with a fake British posh accent, as bad as Trump fakes his intelligence, wealth, and success. Gorka! West Webb, 1984 Chevrolet El Camino GNX conversion wash dyno verified 470 horsepower Buick Turbo V6 GNX exterior and interior styling $85. That's cheap. Thank you, Jolie. All right. Luck Dragon. You can get a hold of me. Give me your contact information at truckerjohnlivestream@gmail.com. All right? Aaron West, help Trucker John. Oh, and we do have the GoFundMe. It still is up, by the way. And we can build up. We're at $350 on that GoFundMe. All right, and then I'm skipping down. Oh, Petrozzi, the guy on Dan's After Dark. Well, I think I don't know. I thought there was a guy from Australia, right, with the beard and shirtless. Hey, you know, as an Australian would do. Big Hook, Big Hook. Aren't the suffragettes on? Probably. I don't keep track of other people's schedules. If they're on, they're on. Sweetie Monkey, I'm a Stephen from England, and I agree. Steve might be from Russia. He's never drank like a real Scotsman. He's a real Scotsman. You're a Scotsman. West Webb, want to know a story about a Cadillac? No, not really. Don't really want to hear a story about a Cadillac. I had a Cadillac. The last car I owned was a Cadillac. Now I'm realizing I should have kept it. It was just a few years ago. I got rid of it because I was driving the Teslas. And I didn't anticipate really stopping to do that for a while. But things happened, and it happened, and I already got rid of the Caddy. Now I wish I would have kept that motherfucker, because it wasn't that bad of a car. I had pumped a lot of money into it, and I was tired of pumping money into it. And at the time, I really didn't have a place to store it. I should have kept it. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. If I should have kept that damn Cadillac. It was pretty nice. You know, it wasn't that bad. Do I have that in my photo thing? And you know, I wish I would have kept it, because I just ended up selling it for nothing, almost nothing, just to get rid of it. I was really in a bad place as far as at the time, like where I was living. I was kind of living in my truck for a while, and I didn't have an apartment. I was driving the Tesla. I had the car kind of at the Schneider lot for a while, but then they put a, you know, like a little removal, like a little sticker on it or whatever to move it, because I didn't work there anymore. And so I just decided to sell it, and I only sold it for like a few $100s, man. And I bought it for a couple grand. I bought that car for, I think, like $3,000. Whoops, damn it. And I owned it for a few years. I owned it for about, what? I don't know, 10 years or something, or maybe less, 8, 9 years. And I probably put, I put at least another $4,000 into it in car work that I needed to do on it, over, because it was like, the thing that would happen is it would sit in my yard in the middle of the desert for 6 or 7 weeks at a time, because I'd be out on the road driving. And then while I was out driving, fucking mice and jackrabbits would crawl up into the engine compartment, and they would eat the wiring system. I had to take it in and get the wiring all redone, and it was expensive. They charged me a lot of fucking money, like a couple grand, to redo the whole wiring system and shit. And I think there was some other stuff too. It wasn't just that, but and then I had something. I was up in the mountains visiting my kids actually, I guess that was a few years ago, and something happened to the car there, and I had to put it in the shop up in the mountains, and pay another couple grand to get it fixed. And damn it, So I was just tired of putting all this money in. Damn it. Ugh. This is a frustrating system. So then I ended up selling it for like $500. I should have just kept it. I should have found a way to be able to store it long enough until I got a place, where I could park it. But I don't know what is going on with these goddamn folders. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can never find stuff when you want it. And when you need it. Anyhow, it was a nice car. I should have kept it. Here's a car I had. This is not the Cadillac. This is I think a mid-70s little Honda Civic. I think it's like a 75 Honda Civic that I had, and this is my trip out to Las Vegas, New Mexico. Like I've said before, I've really only actually lived in 2 cities outside of California, and they were both called Las Vegas. One was Las Vegas, New Mexico, and the other is Las Vegas, Nevada. Look at the back wheels on that thing. Look at the car. It's like I had all my shit, man, stuffed into the back of that Honda. Driving out from California to Las Vegas, New Mexico in 1987, when I was going back to I went back to college. I had been out of college for a while, out of school. I went back to school in 86, I guess, and played football at Victor Valley College, and then I got this scholarship to go play at New Mexico Highlands in 87. And so that's my car. That's right off of I-40, and that section there is Route 66, kind of piggybacks I-40. I think that was just I'd stopped. I don't know. Can we see? Or maybe this was somewhere else. Let me see. What's that sign say? I can't see what that sign says. I can't tell what it says. Look, all my shit's there. I got a big giant suitcase on the roof. A whole bunch of shit in the back. I'm pretty sure that this is... I think this is Arizona. Because I think I went and saw the Meteor Crater, which is just off of the freeway. But that little Honda, it made it all the way out to Las Vegas, New Mexico. And then it basically served as the cab for all my buddies, because almost no one had cars. Everyone, that I knew that was on the football team and stuff, you were all from other states, and everyone just flew into Albuquerque. And then they would get rides from Albuquerque up to Las Vegas, which was like a couple-hour drive. I think the football team would send people down to pick people up or something. But anyhow, I drove back in that car. And so I was one of the few people that had a car. So, of course, I was kind of like I was a taxi driver back then. Look at there. you know, I would give people rides around town or whatever, you know. It's like, hey, or sometimes people wanted to go down to Santa Fe on a weekend, or sometimes even Albuquerque. I took people to Albuquerque. They'd give me gas money. I mean, not all the time, but probably two or three times, or a few times. I remember going to Santa Fe. I remember going. Well, I took, I think, two people to Albuquerque to go to the airport, and they gave me money for gas. They just gave me gas money, like a 20 spot, you know, back in those days. But look at how the back end is just weighed in over there. So that's my there's that car. I was trying to find the Cadillac, picture of the Cadillac, but I guess the Honda will have to do. I would even love to have that car right now. I would take that fucking Honda right now, you know? I told you, I've had lots and lots of cars over the years. And now I don't have anything, and it just sucks. I've been driving, you know, since I was 16. And to not have a car is just crazy. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I'm skipping down a little bit here. Because I know I'm really behind. West Webb says, come to Chicago, steal a limo and drive it for a month or two before you get caught. Yeah, thanks, Wes. Thanks for encouraging crime. I thought you were supposed to be a good Christian. Justice AZ says, Trucker John, you would make a great Zandidate? Maybe you meant candidate. I thought Zandidate was some fancy thing or something. Candidate, I guess. Have you ever considered running for office? Seriously. The only reason I've ever thought of it is just to get the sweet, sweet, sweet money. I'm just as corrupt as anybody. I mean, but not that I would do like illegal shit, but I wouldn't mind like if a U.S. House rep, don't they make like 170 grand a year, or a senator makes like 180 grand? I would do it just for that, and get the sweet health care. And then if you're there, I think you have to serve one term or something. Then you're like in for life. You get a you know, a pension or whatever. I would do it just for that. So that, you know, I don't know how many people would vote for me, because I would just be like, hey, I'm just in it for the money, baby. But I wouldn't be doing like illegal shit, you know. But I would still be better than a Republican. As shitty as I would be, I think I believe in my heart of hearts, I would still be better than any fucking Republican. So that's my campaign. Vote for me. I'm shitty. I'm just in it for the money, but I'm still better than any of these motherfucking cocksucking Republicans. That's my platform. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Big Hook says, remember Burn Notice? He was Michael's confidant in the agency to get secret information. I must be mid-thread because I don't know who you're talking about, but I do remember Burn Notice. Josh says, Justice AZ, I think TJ would bring too much honesty to the political world. So much so that I just admitted that I'm only in it for the money. That's how honest I am. That's how fucking honest I am. I'm only here for the 170K. Also, I won't be. Also, though, I'm not going to vote against Medicare for all, you know, or shit like that. So at least you got that from me. You know. Serena Monkey says, I read that as TJ is maniacal and has despotism. It didn't make any sense until blah, blah, blah. I'm really drunk. Sue me. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. How you like this one, Governor? How you like this accent, Governor? Yeah, I can do Cockney. I can do a little Cockney. Proof of life. Oh, proof of life. Oh. Thank you. POL, proof of life. Of course. We need proof of life. It all makes sense now. It all makes perfect sense. We need proof of life for rigatortis, murgatortis, rigatoni. Rigatortis. Thank you very much. We need the proof of life. I do Italian also, Surrender Monkey. I do very good Italian, I'm told. Impeccable. People think I'm right from fucking Rome. But we need the proof of life for the rigatoni. Just as AZ Mitch is deader than dead. Deader than dead. He's deader than dead. Oh, Mitchy, 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 you are deader than dead. DPD says, who gives a fuck? The Nazis just do. We must take the same approach. Grow a pair, Andy. Andy. Come inside, Andy. I made you a pie, Andy. Andy, won't you come inside? I was trying to do Aunt B. Did that sound like Aunt B? Oh, Aunt B, don't worry now. That was Andy. Andy? Where's Opie? Oh, don't worry, Aunt B. He's all right. I can do all the characters. I can do all the characters, can't I? MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State says, first commercially produced film in natural color was A Visit to the Seaside, 1908. Oh, please, MJ, please. It's not a color film. The 8-minute British short film used Kinemacolor process to capture a series of shots of the Brighton. Okay, it's some little 2-minute thing that they made. I'm talking about a feature-length film. I'm not talking about some little thing where they probably painted every little thing or whatever. Not talking about that. Serena Monkey says, Gone with the Wind is a direct ripoff of Steve Miller's Chugging Trump's Asshole. He said, Gone with the Wind has hairy bits like goats in it. And I don't even think that's funny, Serena Monkey. It's not funny at all. Not at all. Serena Monkey, it's not funny. Stiff upper lip and all that. There's the link to my movie. Thank you, Jolie. Truck John's film. Feed on the dashboard. We got lots of bluegrass music in it because Mad Mac would love it. I should have put bluegrass music in there just for Mad Mac. Feed on the dashboard. Go watch it. Go check it out. 8.5 minutes of your life. It might be the best 8.5. It might be the best 8.5 minutes of your life. Go check it out. Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in there. Dost thou knoweth? See? Yes, Wes Webb. I know how to speak the Queen's English. Very well. Have you not heard? Let's see. I'm skipping down around the town, just skipping down. I'm skipping down the town like a little school girl. Luck Dragon, Jolie, I just sent my phone number to Trucker John. We good now. Oh, thank you. I will check that out, Luck Dragon. I'll check it out. And we'll see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Aaron West says, I'm back. I'm back. In the saddle again. I'm back. Grumpy Cat Gorka, says MJ Daniel. Gorka. I am Gorka. Josh C says, my wife and kids say my Chicago accent slips out, especially when I'm on the Dan Ryan in rush hour traffic on the Dan Ryan, Chicago River. Luck Dragon, check your email right now. Well, I can't do it right now. I'm doing the show. MJ Daniel, when I was in high school, my uncle had a 64 Lincoln convertible with suicide doors. It was huge. I had an uncle that had a Lincoln with suicide doors, a black Lincoln. I don't know if it was a 64. It was right around there, mid-60s with suicide doors. I remember that. Maybe we had the same uncle. MJ, are you related to the Cheneys by any chance? Is this Randy? Are you Randy all this time? Just kidding. I know you're not Randy. Randy's my cousin. Anywho. Big Hook says Mark Wayne serial killer Mullen needs the reality check. What a fucking joke. He turned out to be another cruel monster racist bigot in the cabinet. Well, was there any surprise to that? Of course, anyone that Trump picks is going to be somewhere in that category. And of course, completely unqualified. Completely 100% unqualified. Big Hook, you need a 1996 Geo Prism, especially a Corolla that is reliable. Essentially a Corolla that is reliable and fuel efficient. Dude. I had a Geo Metro. We've talked about this before, I think. I didn't have a Prism. I had I think it was brand new. Bought it brand new. I think it was it was before that. It was before 96. It was right around that time. I think it was like 94. 93, 94, something like that. I had a brand new Geo Prism. I mean, a Geo Metro. It's funny because I also had a Suzuki Swift, which is almost the same thing. One of those is a 3-cylinder, and one of them wasn't, though, I think. I don't think they were both 3 cylinders. Were they? But whatever it was, they got great gas mileage, great little commuter cars, because at the time, I had a 120-mile daily commute, both ways, 60 miles each way. And so I had these little commuter cars and got great mileage. Was getting 50 plus miles a gallon, 50, 60 miles a gallon out of these things. So I've had, like I told you, I've had dozens and dozens of cars, man. All right, guys, I am skipping down. So if I skipped you, that's why. Big Hook, the CVCC Civic, which could meet California smog regulations. Yeah, there's my little Civic. I don't remember the exact year. I think I bought this used. I swear to God, back in those days, you could buy $500 cars that would, I think this was a $500 car. I bought it in the mid-'80s. 85, 86, I think I bought it. And I think for $500. I think I bought it for that trip because that's when the El Camino, I didn't have the El Camino anymore. I did have a Porsche, a little Porsche 924 that would have been great. It wouldn't be as roomy with the cargo, but that would have been fun to take back. But I ended up selling that because I was just getting money together for college. I remember I sold a bunch of records. I sold my car, and then I bought this little Honda for $500. And man, did I get my money's out of that. I drove it all the way to New Mexico, drove it around all of New Mexico, back and forth between Las Vegas and Albuquerque and Santa Fe, drove it back to California, kept it for a while. And then when I came back to California, that's when I started working for the post office. So I traded. They actually took this as a trade-in, and they did one of those deals. They even marked it up like, oh, we'll give you $1,500 for it for a trade-in or something like that. And I traded it in for a Nissan pickup truck, brand spanking new Nissan pickup truck. That was my next vehicle after that Honda. Anyhow, I'm skipping down in the chat. Gallup. What about Gallup, New Mexico? This was not Gallup, New Mexico. Pretty sure this was Arizona, east of Flagstaff, out near Meteor Crater. But I'm not 100% sure, to tell the truth. I did not write anything on the back of that photo because I have the original photo. My daughter brought a bunch of my stuff, and I had some photo albums, and I actually came across this actual photo because this has been on my phone for years, but I actually came across the actual photo, and I looked in the back. I didn't write anything like the year, or date, or anything on it, which I should do. This has a hatchback. That's a hatchback, I think, right? My little Honda there. Petrozzi, the money is a perk, but I wouldn't screw people over. Yeah, right. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't screw people over. But my main motivation for running for office would be just for the fucking paycheck. So I think probably automatically disqualifies me. But I would be voting for things like Medicare for all and, Green New Deal, defunding Israel or whatever. Stop paying for Israel's genocide of Gaza. Stuff like that. Big Hook says Clint Eastwood was a mayor of Carmel. Anyhow, was a mayor for a while and said it was the most boring job and he wanted to sleep through most of the meetings. And he probably only ran because he probably had a house in Carmel and he wanted to get some zoning things passed so people wouldn't trespass on his land or some shit. I bet you that was his motivation. I'm skipping down, guys, because we are going up on 3 hours, and things like batteries and things will be wearing down. You guys are probably wearing down. You're probably sick and tired of me and my lovely British accents and my Italiano accent. You're probably tired of it by now. The accuracy is just too much to take. Where in West, how many cars have you owned? Dozens, probably dozens. Somebody, who was it? It was Political Punk. He listed all the cars he had that he's owned in his life. He's in his 50s, late 50s. He mentioned all the cars he's owned. It was like 5. And I'm thinking like, bro, hold my beer. I can't even. I don't even know how many cars I've owned. 3 dozen, maybe more. DPD says, TJ, you should hang out with my kids and teens. That's where I get the latest lingo, like zesty equals flashy. 6'7" means average. My daughter asked me the other day, Mama, are you about to crash out? Well, crash out, doesn't that mean sleep? Gonna go to sleep? Go sleepy? Go sleepy? That's been around forever. I'm gonna crash out, dude. Dude, I'm gonna crash. Mr. Fox says, historically, a bit equals 12.5 cents of a Spanish dollar. Oh, 2 bits, 25 cents is, which is why the phrase 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar is still commonly used. Well, there you go. There you go. David Weiss, the 924 was cool. It was a nice little car, you know. And again, and that was just a 4-cylinder. The 944 was the big 8-cylinder. The 924 was just a 4-cylinder. And I could get that baby up to my fastest speed. I think I broke 130 in it. I think I could have gone faster. I might have chickened out. I'm pretty sure I broke 130, 132, or 133. I just want to see how fast I could get it. But it was nice. It was a nice car, man. Another car I should have kept, probably. Probably should have kept that one. Jolie's reminding everyone we have channel memberships. Yes, we do, starting for as low as the price of a Snickers bar. And we have other memberships. Great way of supporting the show. Like, subscribe, share, hype. Those are all free. Don't cost you a dime if you want to. We did make, 1 out of 5 on our goals. 1 out of 5 is better than 0 out of 5. So thank you very much. And we do have Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to buy me a coffee, thank you very much. Cheers. I am out of coffee filters. I still have coffee. I need to go. I keep forgetting to buy a coffee filter. Or you can go to PayPal, and another great way if you want to instantaneously help support the show. And I appreciate everyone who's done that. Big Hook says Metros were easy to work on and cheap to repair. We had a junkyard where they scrapped Metros. I would go there and get parts and even a clutch replacement done on the cheap, the cheapest ever. And there's the Car Fund GoFundMe. It's still up. I think we're stuck at $350 on the Car Fund. But there it is. Thank you, Jolie, for putting that in there. Mr. Spock, what about Paul Hogan impersonation? That's not a knife. This is a knife. That's a Sharpie, but, you know. And scene. Thank you. Steven Sayers, I drove 160 miles per hour in a Friends of Viper. I was a passenger. I'm trying to think. I think that Porsche might have been the fastest that I've ever driven. where I was the driver. I'm trying to think of if I drove faster anywhere. But I was a passenger in my friend's Firebird. He bought brand new in, I think it was 1978. I think we were still in high school. He worked his ass off over the summer. I think he saved up like $5,000, which was a lot of money, because his dad told him, whatever you make over the summer, I'll match it and we'll put it towards a car. And he really wanted a Firebird. It wasn't a Trans Am. He couldn't afford the Trans Am. But he got a brand new Firebird. He got the big like 350 V8 in it. I think it was like $8,000 or something like that. Maybe it was less. I don't know. Check the prices for 1978 or something for a Firebird. A Pontiac Firebird, not the Trans Am, but just the regular Firebird, but it has the big V8 in it. Anyhow, whatever money he made, his dad matched it, and he bought this brand new Firebird. And he took us out cruising. We were out on the freeway, on the 15 freeway, not here in Vegas, but down in near Victorville, where we live. And we were out actually going through Ontario and Fontana. We were out on the Devore Cutoff, and it was late at night and really wasn't any traffic. We were going to go see Animal House. That's right. We were on our way to see Animal House down in Ontario, I think. You know, boys' night out. We're in the Firebird, and he's like, "You guys want to see how fast this will go?" We're like, "Yeah." And then he punched it and just, and we're looking at the speedometer, and I think it went to 160. Whatever the speedometer pegged it out, man. And it wasn't even struggling. The car wasn't even struggling, and it was just smooth. But we were hauling ass, and he did it for a few miles, and then he slowed it down because we don't want to get a ticket. We're lucky we didn't get a ticket, but we're all like, "Woohoo! Wow!" That was I think that's the fastest I've ever been in a car, and I was a passenger in that one. But the fastest of me driving, I think, was probably in that Porsche. I'm trying to think, because my El Camino, it was a 327. I think it was a 327 V8 short block in that was put in there. That wasn't the original engine. The guy we bought it from put that in there, and that was a pretty fast car. I definitely took it up over 100 in that, but I don't, maybe like 115 or something, or 110, 115. The Porsche, like I say, I think I hit 132 in that. I don't think I went faster. I don't think I ever went faster that I can think of. Josh says I should make a list of all the vehicles I've owned. Hey, David Weiss with a $2 super chat. Thank you, David Weiss. Yippee from David. Give you a thumbs up and a heart. Whoop. So that's 2, I think. Westweb, not a Trans Am, better. Alvin Stube, 135 is the fastest that Alvin has ever driven. I know old Leadfoot Jolie. Where's Leadfoot Jolie? 120, huh? Okay. Well, I got you beat in my Porsche. Was that the Camaro, Jolie? Didn't you say you had a Camaro? It's funny. My first wife had a Camaro from Ohio. She had her a nice little Camaro. Westwood, I think that I sold it for $2,500. I already had a Jimmy. So yeah, 120 for Jolie. Big Hook says each car suits a different function and will have the mileage spread across the 3 to ensure I always have transportation. Yeah, I made a mistake. I should have made sure that I always have transport. I wish I would have kept that Cadillac. I really wish I could show you a picture of my Caddy. I know I've got a picture of it in here. It was a 2000, I think it was a 2000 Cadillac. Is it SLS or STS? I always forget for some reason. And it was the same color as my big rig, as it turns out. It was pretty much that kind of that champagne color. And it was really nice condition, beautiful. There was only one owner before me, and they were like this old couple, the old couple from Pasadena, but they weren't from Pasadena. And it was really nice. And I should have said, you know what, just in case, because at the time, like I said, I was driving the Teslers, but renting them through the Uber program, and I really should have just kept it as a backup, you know. But at the time, I couldn't. I was having a hard time storing it. It was coming up on needing to be registered, and I couldn't get it to pass smog. And I took it into a place, and it needed a bunch of stuff on it, and it was going to require a lot of money, and I just didn't feel like putting any more money into it, because I had just put in, like I said, a couple grand into it. It seems like just a couple of years earlier, and I just didn't feel like doing it. I had the money, but I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. And I wish but now I'm regretting it. I'm regretting that decision. And I don't know why. There's a particular folder that I don't see coming up. I'm pretty sure it's in there. I know I must be skipping over it, you know, as I'm scrolling. Did I somehow delete that folder? I don't know. It's weird. Well, let's see. Dang it. I don't want that. No. Damn it. I don't want that. All right. Okay. I did find. I don't have a picture of it just by itself. But I have this. See how they're pretty close? I think the Cadillac might be a little darker. That's the Cadillac I had just a few years ago. I sold it, I think, in 2023. I should have kept it. And just buckled down and put more money into it, I guess. Because it was a really nice car. And there's that truck. I've lost so much money. I paid $165,000 for that truck. And I paid it off. In 5 years, I paid it off. It was free and clear. And then I sold it for like, oh, my 20% battery just came on. We're down to 20%. I was only able to get, because it needed so much work, I was only able to get, what I get, $4,000 for that thing? $4,000 for a $165,000 truck. I sold my Cadillac for $500 after paying $3,000 for it, and then putting another at least $4,000 into it in repairs over the years. I should have kept it though. I should have kept both of those. I should have kept both the truck and the car. But I had no place. I was I was between a rock and a hard place. I was kind of like between a rock and a hard place at the time, as far as to go. Yeah, it's a V8. That Cadillac's a V8. Yeah. And you see, that's where I lived. You see the desert behind that truck? That's where I lived. Out in Rosemont, California. Just desert all around, desert. That's why I had a snake in my house. I used to come home with birds, sometimes alive, sometimes dead. They would get in. They were finding a way in through the little chimneys, the little smoke thing from the oven. There was a little smokestack thing. That's how they were getting in. So I climbed up on the roof. Apparently, there's supposed to be a little screen on it, and the screen was, I think, laying on the roof. And I just snapped the screen back in place. And then no more birds were getting in. A snake got in. And of course, all kinds of field mice. Jackrabbits were all over the place. Coyotes were all running around out there. There's a snake in my boot. Yeah. Anyhow, guys, I should get going before the battery dies. So there's a couple of my vehicles. There's 3 of my vehicles right there. I wish I had all of them still. I would love to have all, even the big truck. I would like to have still. I wish I still had that property. I could park it all on there. But I'm just a fuck up. I really am a fuck up. I've done so many stupid mistakes. Anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you for coming and hanging out for these 3 hours and 7 minutes. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I really would appreciate it. Yeah, everybody, hit that subscribe button for good old Trucker John. Trucker John's actually making me feel sad. Seeing him feel so sad about his cars that he wishes he still had. For his property, he still wishes he had. He had 2.5 acres, I understand, out there in Rosemont. Lost it all because he's an idiot. When Trucker John says he's an idiot, believe him. You know what they say? When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Anywho, thanks for being here, guys. Enough of the pity party. I'm out of here. Tough Cookie makes me laugh sometimes. He just cracks me up. Anyhow, yeah. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate you all for hanging out with us in the old driver's lounge. You guys, take care. Have a good one. We're going to see you again on, I believe, Tuesday. Is that right, Trucker John? Yes, that's correct, Paul, the purple beard guy. We'll be back Tuesday, 9 a.m. You know, I'm going to switch the time. I guess I'm going to push it out to 10. I'm going to start at 10 because 9s are kind of hard. If I go to work on Monday and then I come home late, it just makes it a little harder to do a 9 a.m. show. So I'm going to push that to 10 a.m. Let's try some 10 a.m.s Pacific time on Tuesday. I'll see you guys then. You guys have a good one. Until then, have a good rest of your weekend. And, you know, I don't know what else to say other than just thank you. Thank you. Well, there it is. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. And we did have some announcements or whatever for the fan funding. We had the membership truckiversaries, 7 months for David Weiss, yippee. 27 months for Wes Webb, yippee. Susie Ann Jones, 10 months, yippee. I think I might have missed that one. So thank you, Susie. Give me the strength to get through. Absolutely. Thoughts and prayers, and I don't mean that, in a bad way. I mean in a good way. Powers of positive thinking of healing going out to Susie Ann. Wes Webb 222, yippee. Get to Wes Webb for that super chat. Aaron West, member. Happy Truckiversary to Aaron, 27 months. Thank you so much. Aaron reminds everyone to like, subscribe, and share. Absolutely. And David Weiss, $2 super chat. Yippee. Thank you, David Weiss, for that. I do appreciate you. You guys are awesome. And you're all awesome, every single one of you, for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you. I'll see you guys again on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, right here on the Trucker John channel. So in the meantime, the only thing left to do now, of course, are the words of wisdom. So guys, get ready, get your pens, get your paper for the words of wisdom before the battery dies. We are getting really low. So before the battery dies, let's get these words of wisdom in. You guys ready? Okay, so first of all, guys, number one.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food and movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs. I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. Apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows, so go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Sad, and I don't cry. Sometimes I wonder why it takes so long for evil men to die. But I want you to know that when you go, you won't be missed. And the ground where you'll lay, we're all gonna take a big giant piss. And for your end, we all anticipate. Without any love, said before, on the ground you'll lay. I'm gonna take a big old piss.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.